Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another final impressions video. Marvellous. That is right, my friends. Once again, I have returned to you, this time with a final impressions video. And the house I am giving my final impressions on today, as you can see from the title, is L'atelier Français Des Matières, perfumes and colognes. So, this house was founded by Remi Pulverail in 2015, a full 2 years before they released any perfumes. Remi is the husband of Valerie Pulverail, who is the founder and owner of Les Indémodables. He is the materials producer. I think he owns the house that produces the materials. Not sure what the exact arrangement is, but these fragrances have been made with those materials in mind. He sources the materials from around the world himself and produces them at his lab with lots of technicians and smarter people than me. So I'm not entirely sure how it all works, but basically this house uses the materials that he sources and produces, and they're not sourced from any other kind of oil house or any partnership with anyone like Givaudan, IFF, Symrise, anyone like that. So it's all independent of those people. And other houses use his materials. I believe that he sells some patchouli to Amouage. This is what I have heard, but I don't know that for certain. Anyhow, these fragrances were released, I believe, to showcase the materials of themselves, you know? So they're all kind of based on one note or two notes in one of the cases. There's a jasmine, a bergamot, a vetiver, an ambergris, and a vanilla. I tried them all, as you can see in the previous two videos. I am positively disposed towards this house because I am a massive fan of Les Indémodables, who I actually think are the best niche house in the world at the minute. If anybody wants to come at me with a better one, I would be more than happy to hear about it, because I don't smell any other house doing anything approaching what Les Indémodables do at the minute, to be honest with you. That's not to say that I do like all of the releases, because there are some of them that I don't, you know. And I don't own all of them, but I do own about 7. And they're releasing a couple more this year. An orange blossom one in June and an oud in September. Excuse me. So I will be looking forward to trying those. Back to L'atelier Français Des Matières, though. These 5 fragrances I went into hoping to find something that I would love. And while I don't think I've found one that I love, I do rate all of them. They're all very much in a similar vein, or they're of similar quality to the Les Indémodables. I think the first one I tried was the jasmine. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't like jasmine. But the jasmine de Sharifa is absolutely lovely. When it dries down, it smells like a hay meadow. And it's very, very pleasant. It smells like a hay meadow in summer. It's dry, it's got air through it, it's breezy. I've got some test strips. I tried all of these on skin multiple times. I think that it's not an indolic jasmine. I think it's not an oppressive jasmine. It's not too, this is an outrageous thing to say about a floral, but it's not too floral. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It smells very classical. It's a little bit rosy. It's a little bit woody. It's got like this kind of fresh summer slight breeze about it. So you're getting like woodland, you're getting flowers, you're getting freshness, sunshine. It is very, very beautiful. It's not something I would wear because I don't like jasmine, but if you do like jasmine, that is absolutely stunning, and it's made in a very classical style. And I really, really liked that, and I was very pleasantly surprised because I don't like white florals, especially, I mean, jasmine when it's indolic and smells like death and shit and all of that stuff. I just get the fear, you know. Maybe I shouldn't get the fear. Maybe I should be more receptive. But it just, from childhood, it just reminds us of death, you know. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. But that smells like a hay meadow, a summer meadow. Slight hill, you know, green hay, like growing, slight breeze, some flowers, gorgeous, absolutely lovely. Ooh. Bergamotto di Gianfranco, Bergamotto di Gianfranco. So I believe this is the bergamot that Franco makes, or the Franco family. I'm not sure. This one, I was hoping to love. I thought it was going to be an outrageous kind of bergamot, sparkly cologne type thing, and it is. It is weighted, though, with osmanthus, and I really don't like osmanthus. I don't like osmanthus because of the rubbery feel. It feels like the texture of a blown-up balloon, you know, like a party balloon. It's like, no. And for that reason, I don't like it. If that wasn't there and they'd used something else, I would like this more as a perfume. Again, the quality of the materials is absolutely imperious. They can't be touched for their materials. They are the finest. If you're into perfume, you should definitely smell all of these things made by these houses. Well, these houses, yes, I suppose. Les Indemnisables and the Anthologies de Grand Cru. L'atelier Français Des Matières. When I've been talking to people about this house, what I've been doing is I've been saying all those words, L'atelier Français Des Matières, but not necessarily in that order, which it's not great. Like calling me Mitch Rich. Oh no. There's mimosa in this, which is also in a couple of the Les Indemnisables. There's a lot of crossover, which I will come to in a minute, between the two houses, because they use the same materials. But that is beautiful. It's fresh. It's got a little bit of weight to it. If you don't mind osmanthus, or if you like osmanthus, you will like this. It also has that lovely creamy mimosa in it. It's very tasteful. It's very French, you know. Real perfume. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Okay. The next one is Amber Stone. Amber Stone. Now, I was thinking, is this going to be like some big labdanum? Is this going to be some kind of like, amber pendants and stuff like that? But no, this is the ambergris. And this is where I will come to the crossover between Les Indémadables and Les Matières de Français. No, L'atelier. I still can't get it right. I've just looked at it 2 minutes ago. Who are you? This is Amber Stone. I'm sure of it. Yes, it is. Amber Stone de l'Atelier. L'atelier Français des Matières. Still can't get it right. This is amazing. Has massive, vibrant, lemony bergamot at the top. It is fresh, sharp. It's so sharp it could cut you. And if there was any kind of resemblance of nice weather in Britain, this is when I would wear it. Alas, the weather is absolutely woeful. I say this as I'm looking out my window and it is pouring down. The date is the 23rd of May, and it is absolutely, it has rained for about 36 hours solid. Not to worry. The purpose of this video is not to complain about the British weather, but to extol the virtues and the setbacks of the house, as I do with all. Again, there's a little bit of neroli in here, a little bit of jasmine, so some white florals. The ambergris in here is huge, especially when it dries down. The ambergris really sparkles. Some of the patchouli in here, that very clean, sheer patchouli that they use. When I think of patchouli, I think of like, in my previous experience with fragrances, patchoulis are often thick, chocolatey. That's not what this is like. There's a little bit more something like cocoa powder than chocolate per se. There's no kind of milk, you know. There's no kind of like gourmand type thing, but it's sharp. It's fresh. It's like a sea breeze on a Mediterranean coast in the high heat. So imagine you've got some 35 Celsius weather but you're on the coast, so you're being cooled by the breeze. You can almost get the salt from the ozone, and it's not like some kind of cheap 90s aquatic thing. It's high quality. It's tasteful. There's florals in there which give it this kind of class and this kind of nostalgic perfume kind of thing. You know, like not vintage perfume, but it feels like this is how perfumes used to be made. It's the vintage style of perfume without smelling dated, you know. The smell extremely modern. They're a lot like Les Indémadables. What I will say about this one is this reminds me a lot of Escalon Indonesi, which also contains the bergamot and the ambergris. The Escalon Indonesi is a cologne. I don't know if these are eau de parfums or eau de toilettes, or even eau de colognes. I don't know what the concentration of these is. That would be an interesting question to ask. I know there's a high quantity of the natural materials in there. They always try to tell you it's one of the selling points of the fragrances. How much of the material that they use. This is absolutely beautiful. It's a bit more dense than Escalin Indonesi, but I still think you could wear it in the high heat. It's simply because of the nature of the fragrance. I must admit I do prefer the Escalin Indonesi though. I think the cologne structure or the cologne concentration works better for that type of fragrance. You know, it wears lighter, even if you've got to reapply, which I don't mind doing, because you get a lot of perfume. They're like I think per mil, they're almost 4 times cheaper. They're like 3 times cheaper than the colognes are 3 times cheaper than the EDPs from Les Indomptables, because you get twice as much for nearly half the price. These are priced at €155 for 30 mil, which is about the same as the Les Indomptables works out as mil for mil, you know? So, it's one to chew on. Next up, I really do like that one though, the smell's beautiful. Anyhow, next up, Vanille de la Mine. I didn't like this. Straight up didn't like this. And the reason is not the vanilla. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but if you can see what it's done to the colour of the card, it's changed it. It's dark brown. It has stained the card, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Just got to be careful if you're spraying it on white clothes. What word sounds like clothes? Cloves. And that is what this perfume is. I would have called this Clove d'Amine, or whoever they bought the cloves off, because this is a clove perfume. And it's a lot of cloves. And some incense, and the vanilla is off somewhere deep in the forest. It's away, you know. But I don't know where you grow cloves, but it's blown away by the cloves and the incense in here. The cloves and the incense. I mean, one or the other would suffice. Both. It smells exactly how you would think. It's so potent. It is so clovey. If you love cloves, out and out cloves, not a hint of cloves, not a wisp of cloves, but just all the cloves. This would be a perfume for you. The small amount of vanilla that I can pick up in here. Now, there might be a lot of vanilla in here, but to me, my nose picks up the clove almost exclusively, supported by some incense, which provides this kind of, I mean, it adds to the dryness and the pepperiness of the clove, but you can tell it's quality stuff, but it's just so clovey. There's just so much clove. And it's not for me. It's not for me at all. I would like there to be a vanilla that wasn't overtaken, overshadowed by the clove from this house. I would like to smell like a vanilla, something a bit more like Tejota, where it was vanilla, sandalwood type of thing, you know? Problem with sandalwood is sandalwood's very easily blown away as well by any other material you use, so you've got to be very delicate. Again, you can tell the quality of the materials is there. You can tell that this is excellent in its construction and the use of its materials. I just don't like the smell of cloves. So I shall be staying as far away from that as I am likely to stay away from a perfume, frankly. Very peppery. Okay. And finally, my friends, we come to Vetiver de Pierre L'atelier Français Des Matières. This, harking back to the Ambra stone, this has some overtures or some undertones, which I'm mixing my metaphors terribly there. But it has similarities to a Scala Indonesi, but it's not as close to a Scala Indonesi as Ambra stone is to a Scala right. Vetiver de Pierre is not as close to a Scala Haiti as Ambra stone is to a Scala Indonesi. They are very close. This is very different to a Scala Haiti, even if they use the same vetiver. This has tobacco, chocolate, tonka bean, vetiver, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely stunning, and I'm almost certain I'm going to get a bottle of this. I love it. This is a chocolatey vetiver you could wear maybe not in the highest of high heat, because it's a little ambery, that chocolate tonka bean amberiness might be a bit dense for the summer, so you might struggle with that. But this, if you like vetiver, if you like chocolate, if you like tobacco, it's beautiful. It's different enough from Guerlain's vetiver with the vetiver and tobacco thing going on that you could easily still buy it because of the chocolate, because of the tonka, the way that they're used. Slightly gourmand, classy, fresh, green, inviting. It's like the best bits from Vinay Havan, without the fruits, without that kind of sweet thing going on. The dark brown, warm, green tones, absolutely gorgeous. I just wish it came in a bigger bottle so I could get one, but this is my favourite. And I love it. And I'm debating whether to also get an Ambra stone, because I do like that. But I prefer the Escalon Indonesi, to be honest. So I might resist that one, but I don't know if I can resist Vetiver de Pierre. Okay. So, in summary, absolutely worthwhile. The sample set is, I think, about 35 quid. It's well worth buying. You can buy it from Bistro de la Butte in France, where Les Indemnidables is also housed. They are a brilliant materials house that has made these perfumes, I feel, to showcase the materials. And it's been a very worthwhile exercise. So if you like the sound of that, get yourself a sample set and see what you think. And until next time, my friends, I will see you all again soon. Bye.